Hola, hola, ¿cómo están? In today's video, we are going to learn, or for others review, how we can use the comparative in Spanish, which we call el comparativo. The comparative is very simple if we just follow the structure because differently from English, in Spanish you don't need the rules as to know when you add the er suffix like in easier or the word more for longer adjectives. In the case of Spanish, you use the word more with all adjectives in their base form. So, here I'm going to show you two structures you can follow. The first one is the positive form. You have the subject or sujeto in Spanish, the verb or el verbo, the word more or más, plus the adjective or noun, el adjetivo o el sustantivo, the word then or que, and finally another noun or sustantivo. This is the complete structure. Of course, in spoken Spanish, the same as in English, you can omit certain information if the comparison is already implied. The negative form is almost the same. We just change the word more for the word less. So the structure is sujeto, verbo, menos, adjetivo o sustantivo, que, y otro sustantivo. As you can see, it's very simple and easier to use because you don't have to make modifications to adjectives. You just either use the word more or the word less depending on what you want to express. For that, we are going to see some examples in the positive and negative form with adjectives and also nouns. Here we have a comparison between these two houses. La casa gris es más grande que la casa celeste. In other words, the gray house is bigger than the light blue house. And as you can see, we are following the positive form. We have the first subject, la casa gris, the verb to be conjugated in third person singular, es, the word more, más, the adjective big, grande, the word then, que, and finally the other noun, la casa celeste. So repeat after me. La casa gris es más grande que la casa celeste. For the negative form using an adjective, we have the following example. La jirafa es menos peligrosa que el jaguar, which means the giraffe is less dangerous than the jaguar. As you can see, we were just following the structure given before. The subject, la jirafa, the verb to be conjugated in third person singular, es, the word less, menos, the adjective dangerous, peligroso, the word then, que, and finally the other noun, el jaguar. Altogether is, la jirafa es menos peligrosa que el jaguar. In the next example, we use the positive structure by using a noun instead of an adjective to compare, as we can see in the following comparison. Noruega tiene más islas que Colombia. The subject here is Noruega, the verb have, conjugated in third person singular, tiene, the word more, más, the plural noun, islas, the word then, que, and finally the other noun, Colombia. So repeat after me. Noruega tiene más islas que Colombia. Next, using the negative structure, we have the following example. México tiene menos personas que China. The subject here is México. The verb have, conjugating third person singular, tiene, the word less, menos, the plural noun, personas, the word then, que, and finally the other noun, China. Altogether is México tiene menos personas que China. Now it's time for you to try. Remember, you just have to follow the structures and you'll do just perfect. The first sentence is, the horse is stronger than the dog. For those who don't know some of the vocabulary in this sentence in Spanish, horse is caballo, strong is fuerte, and dog is perro. So keeping that in mind and that this is a positive structure using an adjective, how will you say it in Spanish? There you go. El caballo es más fuerte que el perro. The second sentence is an apple is less delicious than a hamburger. Regarding vocabulary in this sentence, apple is manzana, delicious is delicioso, and hamburger is hamburguesa. So keeping that in mind and that this is a negative structure using an adjective, how will you say it in Spanish? Una manzana es menos deliciosa que una hamburguesa. Excellent. The third sentence is, a passion fruit has more seeds than a watermelon. Regarding the vocabulary in this sentence, passion fruit is maracuyá, seed is semillas, and watermelon is sandía. This is a positive structure using a noun. So how will you say it in Spanish? Nice. Una maracuyá tiene más semillas que una sandía. The last sentence is, the avocado has less proteins than the coconut. Regarding the vocabulary in this sentence, avocado is aguacate, proteins is proteínas, and coconut is coco. This is a negative structure using a noun. So how will you say it in Spanish? El aguacate tiene menos proteínas que el coco. Perfect. That's the end of the lesson. Hope you like it and found it easy to follow. Don't hesitate to ask me in the comments if you were left with any questions, and see you in another video. Ciao!